Inside the front row, Chris Fing outside of him. Neil Gregson in 17. Steve Collins on the outside of the second row. Dan Lewis, Scott Liefeld, that's the third row. Jimmy Smith, Sam Galchewski, the fourth row. Rachel Jenkins and Abby Meehan. Look for a green one. Go, we're racing on the inside. Clinton Hanceys. Neil Gregson tries to go with him, but it is Chris Fing on the outside of the front row that gets it there into position number 2 as they arrive at the hairpin for the first time. Clinton Hanceys, Chris Fing, Neil Gregson in the 17 car. Then it's Steve Collins. That's the way they go round Pagel's corner as Chris Fing gets it a little wide. Neil Gregson getting a little interested down on the inside. Steve Collins would be the next one, and then Dan Lewis. It's still Clinton Hanceys in front of Chris Fing. Those three have cleared out. Neil Gregson still in 3. The next one charging through will be Dan Lewis, the 55 car of Scott Liefeld, trying desperately to get up on terms. 51 is there too. Galchewski as car number 1, Kyle Honor, trying to work his way through the field, but they're all chasing. Clinton Hanceys through the hairpin and up the zinc straight away he goes to the better of Chris Fing. Back behind him is still Neil Gregson and Dan Lewis, and a big gap back to the 55 car of Scott Liefeld in better of Sam Galchewski, and then Kyle Honor in front of Steve Collins. Wait for our race leader going down the back straight away. Clinton Hanceys. Hanceys in the hairpin corner, being hotly pursued by Chris Fing. Next one behind them, Neil Gregson still. And then we go to the 8 car of Dan Lewis. And yellow lights are on because we've got some debris lying on the racetrack down the back chute. Infield officials to the rescue will bring them all back together outside the Witch's Hat for a restart, and it will be Clinton Hanceys in front of Chris Fing. Group Mother Mountain Speedway has got 9 laps remaining. Clinton Hanceys, Chris Fing outside the Witch's Hat. Go, says Hanceys. Fing. Next one through is Neil Gregson. The roar of the little engines as they head towards Pagel's corner. The one on the outside is Kyle Honor. Honor is alongside the 55 car of Scott Liefeld as they go round the hairpin and up the zinc main straight away. And the one on the move on the outside is Kyle Honor. He's got himself up into position number 4. Next one in front of him is Neil Gregson. He stays up high as they go round the hairpin, trying to get on the inside is Dan Lewis. Lewis battles back down on the inside as they head towards Pagel's once again. Clinton Hanceys to the better of Chris Fing. Back then to Neil Gregson. In front now of Kyle Honor in position 4. Behind him is Dan Lewis. And then Scott Liefeld, race leader, belting down the back straight away. Clinton Hanceys throws it into the hairpin corner and up the zinc straight away. Chris Fing holding down position 2. Neil Gregson is still there. Kyle Honor would be the next one, and trying desperately to stay with them is Dan Lewis, and catching up very quickly around the outside. Steve Collins gets through into about position number 6 at the expense of Neil Galchewski. Race leader goes around Pagel's corner, hangs the tail just a little bit. but still got plenty of speed on as he goes through the hairpin and heads up the main straightaway. Has opened up a bit of a lead back to Chris Fink and Neil Gregson. We've got a yellow one on again. Car parked on the inside of the hairpin corner. Following this 40 laps to complete our SummerSlam for 2019. Clinton Hanceys, Chris Fink, Neil Gregson. Go, we're racing with 4 laps remaining. Clinton Hanceys, Chris Fink, Neil Gregson. Outside is Kyle Honor. No, changes his mind, comes back on the inside. Looking for an inside pass on Gregson as they arrive at the hairpin corner. Up the Zinc Main straightaway once again. The one on the outside pass is Tim Jackson. Steve Collins down on the inside under the tower and around Pagel's corner. Race leader Clinton Hanceys. Chris Fink next behind him. The 17 car Neil Gregson. Kyle Honor can't catch them. Back behind him is Dan Lewis. Couple of laps remaining for Clinton Hanceys as he goes around Pagel's corner, down the back chute and into the hairpin for the next to last time. He'll have a white flag waiting for him as they head up the main straight. The white flag to the better of Chris Fink. 17 there is Neil Gregson. Neil Gregson having a little look at Chris Fink. Can't do anything into the hairpin for the final time. And it will be Clinton Hanceys, Chris Fink, Neil Gregson, Dan Lewis in front of Kyle Honor, Tim Jackson across the line as well, Steve Collins. Well, folks, there he goes. He's been top-notch all night. Clinton Hanceys takes out the feature final. He'll be very happy in car number 12. A lot of work for the Modlites. Back, pack them all up, try and get a night's sleep and head up the road to Maryborough for 2 more nights. But Clinton Hanceys takes out this round at the SummerSlam here at Corbet's Group, Mother Mountain Speedway. Put your hands together for him as he goes around, Clinton Hanceys. And the Super Sedans will roll on to the racetrack for the 2019 Masondale Transport Gympie Gold Super Sedan SummerSlam.